whole different part of the game that we've never seen.
That's why you don't see shootouts. They know it's a mistake. They won't ever do it. It's not there. It's not even part of hockey. Like you said, it's one-on-one, and who cares about one-on-one? It's a team game, and that's what should come first. And I don't think 4-on-4 is a team game.
You don't?
Well, it's a team game, but you're handicapping both sides, and you're putting it in their mind, you have to win. You have to win. Like a lot of clubs used to go into...
You do have to win. Isn't that the goal when you drop the puck?
Yeah, you do. But however, a lot of teams, when they get into overtime situations, they go, look, we can still get a point and take this point into our regular season
standings. But they're doing that now, too. They're getting a point now, too, regardless.
Which is, I don't think is right. Why should you get a point then for an overtime loss?
Because they want to open up the game so that many more fans can enjoy the game.
Oh, jeez. Well, bring back the blue little thing on the screen there, and maybe I'll enjoy the game a little bit more. I mean, it's hockey. It's the way it should be. Tradition. Keep it the same.
I can't believe they brought goalie masks in then. I mean, they shouldn't have done that.
Well, you know.
Well, I mean, no, it's part of a change. You ask any coach on how they teach their guys how to play the game, and I'll guarantee you they teach the game to young kids 4-on-4 on how to skate, how to open up, how to pass the puck, as opposed to grind it out with that extra person on the field.
It's no different than street ball. When you have a game of basketball, you're playing 3-on-3, essentially, under one net.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you teach skills in any sport. You know, you look at the game of volleyball, we're talking change. The game of volleyball has changed dramatically in the last 2-3 years, from going from a 15-point game to a 25-point rally point game now. It encourages...
Which is more exciting for me, a casual fan.
That's right. But it also encourages, it's put more of an emphasis on being able to serve the ball properly in the game.
I wonder, we have just about a minute left, I wonder, is there a chance that they'll go to 4-on-4 for the entire game in a few years?
No, I don't think that'll go. I think the traditional will still hold hard on that. I mean, I would be against it for 4-on-4 for the whole game. Then does that mean we increase more franchises?
Once upon a time, defensemen weren't allowed to step over the red line, and they weren't allowed to take slap shots, and I mean, I wonder, like, I mean, there are certain things as we turn into the new century that you think could never happen. I wonder if 4-on-4...
That blue streak might be back.
You don't think...
Really, on the ice, for sure. You can watch it in the stands. You'll probably be able to see a blue streak in a couple of years.
You don't think you ever see 4-on-4?
I don't think you'll see 4-on-4. I agree with Don. I think the purists are going to keep it that way, and I think the 4-on-4 in overtime is a good way to get more people involved in the game, but also put a bit more emphasis on the overtime now.
Good. All right, that's going to wrap it up. When we come back, we're going to get excitement in the air, because we're going to talk about that Ryder Cup celebration after Justin Leonard's putt on 17 on Sunday to win the Ryder Cup. Just before we go, though, if you remember our little tidbit before we went to break on our last segment, give us a call right now at 728-1150. You've won a free pizza courtesy of Dogland.
Sharing a healthier future with Participaction. Today, the streets are dangerous. Drugs, gangs, violence, crushing quality of life, limiting choices. Is this your future? Or someone you know? At Participaction, we're committed to finding answers, making a difference in your life, sharing a healthier future. When night falls in Vancouver, Night Hoops comes alive.
The street becomes a terribly dangerous place. Wake up one morning and find themselves in jail and not having a sense of what happened.
Night Hoops is an 8-month commitment, a positive alternative.
Identifying them through police liaison officers, through school guidance counselors, through youth workers, we could target the kids who were most in need.
Give me something to do other than to hang around.
Away from gangs and drugs.
Take action. For these kids, it's getting active, feeling good about themselves, taking control.
Providing a positive alternative, a positive range of experiences for them, and they like it.
And they don't have to have all the weight of the world on their shoulders all the time.
Sharing a healthier future means making changes.
Teamwork,
sportsmanship,
commitment, respect.
All it takes is heart, discipline, and everybody can get there.
One of the interesting things about kids is if you have some standards for them, if you have some high expectations, you'll be darn surprised how often they'll live up to those expectations.
Sharing a healthier future. Participaction.
Call 911.
Can't help me, you just choose not to.
It is an unnecessary trip to the OR.
Every second counts.
Is the ER always this exciting?
ER, weekdays at 2 on CKX.
Welcome back to the show. Ryder Cup. What an exciting golf tournament it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Americans will tell you all they enjoyed was Sunday, but it was pretty good all weekend. Let's take a look at the putt by Justin Leonard on 17 on Sunday. You don't see this much on a golf course. He's going bananas, and his teammates go bananas. They run all the way out over top of the green, hugging the guy that just made the putt. Jose Maria Olazabal, that putt I believe they say was from 45 feet. Olazabal had a 20-foot putt, and if he makes it, Europe still wins. What do we think of that celebration?
I don't think it's right. I mean, any golf purist, if you don't mind me using the term, I mean, that's wrong. And for professionals that play this game on a weekly basis and every day they live that as their job, should know, and you have to have control of your emotions. I mean, sure, it's a huge win, and it's the biggest win in Ryder Cup comeback history, but no, it was wrong.
I have to disagree with you. I like it, so don't be afraid to say that you like it.
I totally disagree too. I think in the emotions that were on the course that day, and the fact of the matter that they didn't run across his putt line, I think it was a great thing to see. I mean, those guys became kids again, and I think they're playing the game for that reason. They're playing it because they love it.
I need you two have to switch seats right now. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, I think it was a great thing to see. Unfortunately, the Europeans didn't agree with it.
And I think the big thing, and Ken is shaking his head at me again, no, but I think the big thing, you hit the nail on the head when you said golf purist, but we just had a segment where we talked about change, and I think golf really needs to loosen up in that area and have some fun.
I'm not sure if it's a game that can loosen up. Boy, I mean, right now, I mean, even the Europeans, I mean, there might be a little bit of sour grapes there, but I'm not sure. I mean, they played pretty solid golf, and I think they will all admit that the Americans played some pretty solid golf to win on Sunday. It was just the wrong way to end, and I think the one thing that sticks in their mind, there's also fans out there, and I think last night on sports I was watching, even one of them said, it's amazing how the fans were really quiet in the morning, but as the day went on, and the beer cart started getting out, everybody started getting a little more vocal. I mean, yelling at people in their backswings, that stuff. I mean, it's golf is a game of etiquette, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be in an arena with people throwing things at them. Pretty soon we'll have Hulk Hogan golf, and I'm not sure we want to see that.
But if it's not a sport that's supposed to be an arena, why did they sell tickets, and why did people go watch it? I think it's a spectator sport, and unfortunately, I think some of the American people went overboard in the way they treated the European players, and I think that more than anything is the big problem. I think if it was just a celebration,
wouldn't be as big a deal.
If there were no cat calls and no spitting and those kinds of things that went on, I think it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
See, the celebration wasn't called for. If they're going to do the celebration, they should have done it after Olazabal had his putt. Poor guy's got to go up there afterwards, after everybody's run across his line. He's got to go there, putt, and try to keep his concentration. It's bad enough if he wouldn't have had that big brouhaha beforehand, but now he's got to do all that in his mind that I have to sink this putt. The Americans are going nuts. I have to bail out my team. Like I said, it's bad enough when he originally has to do that, but then after that, the Americans almost wiped their faces in it.
But what's the difference between a person sitting on the free throw line having to shoot a free throw with 2 seconds left and everybody in the crowd going crazy, and someone having to shoot a putt when people have just gone crazy before it, and then it becomes dead silent?
But did they allow the team? Yeah, did the team run across the free throw line and cheer and hug the guy?
But what's the difference with people waving their hands and screaming and yelling while you're doing it?
I'll tell you what the difference is. One is more socially acceptable than the other.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is not necessarily right.
No.
Oh, did you watch Happy Gilmore before you came here or something, or what? It's not right.
The Ryder Cup, we're going to be in the batting cage next, taking it in the arm just so they can get used to hitting.
I just don't really like the fact that, I mean, especially golf is a sport right now where young people are really getting involved with. And I think as I'm watching some young people get involved in golf, some people are misinterpreting whether it's an etiquette sport or whether it's a snobby sport. And I think you really got to have more fun with the game. And what the Americans did, I mean, naturally as Canadians, we're going to condemn them for it because I think, well, maybe I'm wrong, but I think many Canadians were cheering for Europeans. Am I right? I mean, I think it almost gets you more that it was the Americans that did it.
I thought on Sunday, I mean, I was all for the Americans. I mean, I can honestly say I watched all of it, and and was really kind of intrigued. I mean, the comeback and just the change of emotions and the whole energy flow that was.
So you could have held him if that was Dave's on your team. He makes that putt. You'd have held it.
Well, I would like to think. I mean, if golfing was my job, and I was termed a professional. I mean, I guess when you're done a sportscast and you're really excited about it, does Ken come across and hug you? I'm not sure if that happens.
I wouldn't let him.
Oh, I don't know. Well, that isn't what we've heard, but I mean.
I totally agree with the emotions. They played so well during the day, and I think what all went on the night before in terms of their little get-together they had, it just set the tone, and everything just started to flow in the morning. And you know, when it happened, I think it was just a big release of energy. You know, and unfortunately, it happened on a golf green, but it didn't interfere with the guy's putt.
We're going to put a wrap on this topic, and I'll just close by saying, put a group of Americans together in a team effort like that, and they won't win, but when they can go one-on-one, boys are deadly. When we come back, we're going to talk about high school athletics, and in particular, I guess maybe volleyball and basketball. That's when This Is Sports returns.